The Metropolitan Police have paid out yet another £10,000 in compensation from the public's money, of course, after they were criticised for their heavy-handed stop and search of a man in his own front garden. 31-year-old Navern De La Kruz was detained as he was walking out of the gate of his home because, of course, because he matched someone's description. The stop and search was conducted in June 2020 when the police used a power of search under the Police and Criminal Evidence Act. But because he was essentially still in his front garden, which is a private dwelling, the specific powers they used could not be used, according to Bhatt Murphey solicitors. De La Kruz said, "I felt so belittled to be stopped, searched and handcuffed in my garden for something I had nothing to do with. More than 2 years have passed since the incident and I still haven't received an apology from the police, but sadly that is exactly what I expected. I sought to hold the police to account because I want others, and particularly the younger generation of black queens and kings, to know that the misuse of stop and search and handcuffs is not okay and that it can be challenged." So there we go again with the race. I mean, it's not just black people who will be stopped and searched and embarrassed, but what needs to be addressed by ethnic groups is that if the police really are looking for a suspect and that suspect is black, then why are so many black people being sought? I mean, isn't that something that's important to look into? Personally, I've never got my black friends or work colleagues confused with one another just because they're black, and that would simply be stupid, although these days since the strokes I might forget someone's name if I've just met them. But ethnic groups seems to think that they're targeted more than white folk. Then there is usually a common denominator, such as the crimes being committed by suspects of an ethnic group. Again, this is common sense, just as they wouldn't be stopping a black man if they were searching for a white man. De La Kruz added, "I sincerely hope that lessons will be learnt from my case to ensure that officers act within their powers and understand the impact incidents like this can have on confidence in policing." Of course, lessons won't be learnt, and suggesting police might learn from any particular case is a complete joke. Sohini Mehta of law firm Bhatt Murphey said this case is yet another example of the heavy-handed use of stop and search and handcuffing on black people without adequate justification. My client has still not received an apology from the police. The Met must show that they are committed to stamping out discrimination and disproportionality in their practices and implement the recommendations made to them by the IOPC and HMICFRS. Now, yet again, I've seen more videos of white folk being handcuffed for a stop and search than I have of black folk. In fact, I've been handcuffed for various reasons that were nothing to do with me either. So all I see in this case is a black man who has been stopped and searched unlawfully because the police don't know the law and not because they were being racist. There's nothing that I can find from researching this story that would indicate the stop was racist. They were searching for a black man. Strangely enough, De La Kruz is a black man, just as when I was stopped and questioned in the street when after what I think was a bookie robbery near my home not long after my strokes. However, all they had was the guy was white. They said I matched the description, but I saw the dude they were looking for on their device and saw he was older than me, not exactly white like me. In fact, the only similarity was that he was a male human being. Was that discriminatory? Would I get a 10 grand payout for that? No, I wouldn't, because it wasn't. But had they searched me unlawfully or handcuffed me, then that'd be a completely different story. So you see, interactions with police are generally to do with misusing their powers or not knowing their powers, rather than the fact that they're all racist. But that's not taken away from the fact that some are discriminatory, as in all walks of life.